Now on Central Illinois Newsday, COVID-19 virus vaccines now in Peoria. The words of hope spoken by one of the first 5 to be vaccinated. Then managing hemophilia A, the advice from a hematologist oncologist. Also, superheroes walking local hospital halls. We introduce you to this week's CI Hero.
Central Illinois Newsday on WMVD starts now.
First this afternoon, some of the first COVID-19 vaccines in the state are now in the arms of Peoria healthcare workers. Good afternoon and thank you for joining us here on CI Newsday. I'm Rebecca Brumfield. Today, 5 OSF St. Francis Medical Center workers, each with different jobs in the hospital, received a vaccine. Governor Pritzker says the 5 are heroes who volunteered for the opportunity and are paving the way for the future. After months on the front line of the pandemic, the group says the vaccine is a sign of hope. Juan Fernandez was one of the 5 who got the shot today and says his family and safety played a part in his decision.
I can feel safer around my loved ones. I feel like a majority of my family members have a poor immune system, and I feel like if I were to get the shot or be one of the first ones, I would feel safer around them.
The group is set to receive the next dose in 21 days. The COVID-19 pandemic continues to take its toll on local restaurants, recently being forced to go back to Tier 3 mitigations. But many eateries in Bloomington have been receiving support from a state leader. Senator Jason Barackman stopped by Bloomington today to speak on the issues he has with the governor's executive orders. He says since March, Governor J.B. Pritzker has issued over 70 orders that affects almost everyone's life in some way. Barackman doesn't think the decisions that big should be made by one person.
I think democracy is failing the people of this state as a result of the way in which the governor has executed these unilateral orders against the state and against the people of our state.
Barackman hopes in the future, before implementing these orders, they can involve more people, more input, and more transparency. The American death toll has now passed 300,000 since the pandemic began. The U.S. has around 4% of the world's population, but more than 18% of the deaths. And the vaccine rollout is ramping up in a big way. Healthcare workers got the first shots yesterday, many after months on the front lines. Today, 100 more sites will receive the vaccine as part of a massive operation that hopefully will eventually end this pandemic. David Magno is at UC Davis Medical Center in Sacramento.
Okay, little poke, 1, 2, 3.
These were the shots seen across America, from the first nurse in Queens, New York to California. Frontline workers are leading the way yet again, receiving doses of Pfizer's coronavirus vaccine. Dr. Militia Cumberland was the first person vaccinated at her hospital in Connecticut.
Do you have any symptoms after the shot?
No, outside of some regular, when you get a shot, you have that soreness in your arm. That's it, nothing else.
Dr. Cumberland says she's aware of the public's concerns and admits she was also a little hesitant at one point.
I'm proud of myself for doing it.
Proud of yourself, why?
Because I was selfless. I did it to make sure that, yes, I'm safe, but I did it to start to almost build trust within our community and to really say, we trust science.
To West Virginia now. Governor Jim Justice became one of the first elected officials to be injected. He said he wanted to build public confidence in its safety. 141 sites received shipments on Monday, and the government plans to deliver 2.9 million doses to 636 locations this week. Now, U.S. leaders want to vaccinate about 50 million people by February. Reaching that number will also depend on the FDA's approval of the Moderna vaccine, which could be available for distribution as early as next week.
We have enough vaccines already purchased to ensure we can meet our goal of vaccinating every American who wants it by the end of the second quarter of 2021.
Back to Dr. Cumberland. She says she could not be more proud to be a part of this historic moment.
The legacy I want to leave is that I gave myself to let people know that they are safe. I gave myself so that someone else is healed, cured, and they find peace of mind.
And what a legacy to leave. You know, when Pfizer's vaccine arrives, it is frozen. So it has to be reconstituted. That's what it's called. And here's what that looks like. Nurse Mary Rose, who's an RN here at UC Davis Health, is going to show us. She's taking saline from a bottle, and she will inject it into what's going to be a vial of the vaccine. Once you inject the saline with the vaccine, you just mix it up and you're ready to go. Easy, quick, and happening around the country. David Begno, CBS News, Sacramento, California.
You're watching Central Illinois Newsday with Rebecca Brumfield and meteorologist Molly Naslund with your local weather authority forecast. This is Central Illinois Newsday on WMBD.
A cancer diagnosis doesn't have to make you feel powerless. Because at Cancer Treatment Centers of America, there is power in specialists who relentlessly pursue treatment options for your individual cancer, and doctors who take the time to answer every question. There is power in rapid test results and appointments in as little as 24 hours, so you wait less and worry less. Now in network with most insurance plans. Call now.
You know, nothing's ever going to change unless the public stands up and brings their medical records to the Janssen Law Center for examination by our independent physicians. Medical negligence is then exposed. The Janssen Law Center wants to be the conscience of the community, to defend the rights of the injured.
J. Janssen. One name says it all.
Michael's Italian Feast, home of the best subs, pizza bread, grilled cheese, and Italian beef fry.
The best pile-high subs and hot sandwiches in Central Illinois. And no one has better homemade, always fresh from the oven bread. Michael's Italian Feast.
Unity Point Health presents things you need to know about healthcare workers. They're real people just like us. They have houses and families, and they like to eat spaghetti. At least I bet they like to eat spaghetti. They care for everybody, even people they don't know. They might worry about getting sick, their family, their patients. Tell them thank you by wearing a mask and social distancing. Thank you, healthcare workers! Unity Point Health. Know how much you matter to this world.
Have you been laid off and trying to figure out if you can still retire? An involuntary layoff can leave you feeling uneasy and wondering where you stand. Can I retire? How long will my money last? Will my family be okay? Get the answers you need in our 10-step layoff survival guide. If you're facing a layoff, visit the link to receive your complimentary guide to help you decide your next move. Don't let an involuntary layoff knock your retirement plans off course. Download our free 10-step layoff survival guide now and let us help keep you on track for retirement.
For over 20 years, Dave Roth Mechanical have been the go-to commercial refrigeration, heating, and air conditioning specialist for Central Illinois, offering 24-hour service. Dave Roth Mechanical always has you covered. Call today at 309-699-2969.
You're watching Central Illinois Newsday.
The Bloomington City Council elections are shaping up to be a battle this coming spring. 5 community members are gunning for Ward 7. And according to law, if 4 or more people are running for a seat, it triggers a primary election. On February 23rd, Councilwoman Mary Molly Ward will battle with Daniel Freeberg, Kelby Cumpston, June Peterson Middlebrooks, and Coretta Jackson for the position. The executive director of the Bloomington Election Commission says the top 2 candidates will get votes to go on to face each other in the general election. Unlike the rest of the council, Mary Ward was appointed to the position by Mayor Terry Renner after former Ward 7 Representative Scott Black resigned earlier this year. She hopes her minor experience on the council propels her over the competition. And a Bloomington councilwoman says she wants to make the city a more welcoming place for immigrants. Ward 2 Representative Donna Bolin is proposing the council work closely with a nonprofit called Welcoming America Initiative to brainstorm ways to make the area more inclusive. She says this is not a welcoming city ordinance. It's a way to develop a process to slowly break down fear some community members have developed.
Being informed and involving all perspectives and listening with an open mind to all residents and discussing over time what we're doing step by step will be more acceptable to the entire community. You can't just throw something out there and check a box and say, I'm done. It has to be a process. that works for the entire community.
City staff will now begin drafting a resolution for council to make a final vote at their next meeting. Peoria's top cop will be stepping down. Yesterday, Chief Lauren Marion announced that he will be retiring in January after 26 years of service. City Manager Patrick Urick promoted Marion to Chief of Police in 2018. Urick says the city will conduct a nationwide search to fill the role. For the time being, Assistant Chief Doug Theobald will fill in as interim chief. During his years of service, Chief Marion was named Officer of the Year in 2008. He also received several letters of recommendation, 2 Distinguished Service Awards, and the American Legion Service Award. A local Captain America leading the charge to bring happiness to kids in the hospital. We show you who Matthew Welker is and why he began this heartfelt adventure in this week's CI Hero. Characters for Kids brings costume characters and gifts to children in the hospital. Matthew Welker founded the area nonprofit in 2017.
When I first started, it was just a love for superheroes and just something I could do with some friends that would just make kids smile.
His journey changed in depth when his daughter was born.
In 2018, my daughter was actually born with Down syndrome and congenital heart disease. So I went from being Captain America visiting hospitals to being Dad visiting hospitals, and it was a pretty crazy change to happen.
He says he now sees what the gesture means through the eyes of a parent.
I know as a parent, when people do little things, even if sending small gifts or even the special visitors to the hospital, it really does matter so much when you can make the kids forget about the treatment and forget about all that's going on and just bring a smile to their face and help them with that. It's one of the coolest feelings in the world.
While COVID-19 restrictions are keeping this Captain America on the sidelines, he says he's as invested as ever.
It's all about giving back and just making the kids smile and do something positive in the community and just letting people know. I mean, it may seem weird to people. I'm a 30-year-old adult who's just loaded with all this, I call it cool stuff. Maybe not everybody looks at it that way, but if I can use something I'm passionate about and bring smiles to others, I think it's awesome. And you can head online to CIProud.com and nominate someone you know to be our next CI Hero. The form can be found underneath the Community tab. Well, coming up, a trace of snow possible for parts of the central Illinois region. Meteorologist Molly Naisland has your full weather forecast when we come back.